Hey, this is Mark Rodriguez here.
And this is Jupi Chan, also known as Ninja Jupi, or you can just call me Wendy. Howdy, guys!
And you're watching the review, Sanctum, where everything and anything may be reviewed. And today we're going back to the Titans in Season 2.
Yeah, Season 2. So let me just get into the premise of the season. So, Season 2's first episode kind of finished up the whole Trigon story with Raven and her father. She goes into pure mode. She, everyone gets back to normal or whatever. She takes out her father. He doesn't come back. The end, as far as I know.
Yes, and then Raven does now, as a result of this, she has the famous little diamond thing in her forehead now, of course, for the rest of the series, I'm assuming. And also, I think her hair is flat out blue. In the past, was it kind of black with light blue streaks or something?
It's purple streaks, yeah. Her hair
but
is
now now it just turned to its color and everything. One thing we forgot to mention also was the last season had this post-credit thing that we kind of forgot because we saw it after the review and everything that showed Connor was going to be in the series. Connor Kent, clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. So this season also kind of goes into that.
And we get it also brings in Crypto.
Yeah, it also brings in Crypto.
Cute dog, as an animal lover. So anyway, after all of that is done, all the Titans, they go their separate ways again. And then we get into a story involving Deathstroke. So he is the main villain of this arc. And Deathstroke has a grudge against the Titans because he blames them for the death of his son Jericho. And he wants to get his revenge on them. He always vowed that if the team ever got back together, he would go and kill them all one by one, or just, go after all of them. Because, as mentioned, he blames them for the death of his son Jericho. So, to do that, he uses his daughter...
Well, first of all, I do want to say, the Titans, after defeating Trigon, were on TV. And it just so happens that Jason Todd, who's with them now, is like, hey, the Titans are coming back, y'all! Hey! Whatever. And that's what brought Deathstroke's attention. That, the Titans are back together, you say.
Yeah. So he concocted a plan. He had Dr. Light broken out, and that brought all the Titans back together because he wanted to get them all back together to, make sure they were together so he can just take them all out. So he set up this thing with Dr. Light, and he used his daughter, Rose Wilson, to infiltrate the Titans, kind of become a member. They saw her fighting against Deathstroke, and they saw, he defeated her, they saved her, then she joined them and became one of the team. And then later on you find out that she, as mentioned, she would infiltrate the place, but she actually grew to like being around the Titans, and she kind of told Slade, nope, I'm done with you. I'm not doing what you want me to do. And that's pretty much the main premise. Some of the subplots that go on for Season 2 is Starfire's situation with her having to go back to Tamaran to retake the throne because she's the one to do it. Her sister is taking over. Her sister is kind of want to get after her, and that's probably in Season 3. That didn't go anywhere this season for the most part, but it was being set up.
Yes. Now, another thing also is that, everyone has their issues and whatever. Dick is, getting darker and darker and keep going his own path, and he keeps, withholding things from the rest of the team and all that stuff. So, throughout the season, there's, this... I guess a figment of his imagination or whatever, guilt trip or something that looks like Bruce Wayne, which unfortunately in this version of the series, he looks more like Alfred than Bruce Wayne. There's a part where Dick does go back to Bruce Banner and you see the guy, welcoming him, hey, welcome back, and Dick, oh, that's nice, that's Alfred walking him, before he calls Bruce.
And I had to correct him.
Yeah, and when he's like, no, that is Bruce. And I'm like, no, I mean, and the thing is, the show implies that Batman is still in action. It's not a retired Bruce Wayne. Batman still goes out and does shit. I'm like, no, bullshit. That dude is doing fucking backflips and somersaults and crap to avoid, gunfire and crap. But anyways, throughout the season, as Dick is trying to get to Deathstroke on his own and all that kind of stuff, Bruce Wayne is just kind of trolling him. This ghost Bruce Wayne, like, hey, yeah, well, that kind of worked out how you wanted it, right, champ? Or he's lying, so much for being honest to the team, huh? And of course, one of the parts we just have to mention is that there was a part where Dick was in some kind of stripper bar trying to find out like a contact of Deathstroke so that through him he could find Deathstroke or whatever. Mm-hmm. And when you see the girls dancing on stage, Bruce Wayne is there too, which of course only Dick could see, and he just couldn't help it.
He started doing the
Batoozy, and it's like, oh man, they are never gonna let that go from the Batman mythos, are they?
No.
But yeah, so
thank you, Adam West.
Yeah, thank you, Adam West. The other thing is, of course, we eventually find out that the whole thing with Jericho was that the Titans kind of sort of used Jericho to get closer to Slade to get him, because Slade killed Aqualad in the flashbacks and stuff, so that's why they were like really intent on getting him, even though not everyone, I mean, that's another thing, they're all in on it, sort of. I think Hawk was the only one that kind of felt kind of crummy, but everyone was in on it.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit, I'll tell you why. Because anyway, so what happened is there was a final battle at church when, Jericho found out everything about his father and stuff. He's a murderer, he's a paid mercenary, whatever. And during the final fight between Robin and Deathstroke, Robin was down like completely defenseless at that moment. Mm-hmm. And before Deathstroke could do the killing blow, Jericho gets in the way and gets stabbed instead. So Jericho killed his son. And the biggest thing is, I'm assuming to spare them the pain or whatever, which I don't know why, that's just lying for the sake of lying, Robin. But Robin told the team he was already dead when they got there. And the thing is that when he eventually told them all the truth about this,
in the present day,
they're all like, well, fuck you, Dick, and all that shit, and they all just...
And they got all angry at him, with the exception of Gar and Starfire, honestly. They were the only two that didn't really get angry at him.
Yeah.
And the others really had no right to get angry at Dick for this, because either way, Jericho got killed. And even though the original plan was to use Jericho to get to Deathstroke, they actually grew to love Jericho. They wanted him in, and they told him everything. They came clean with him. So Jericho knew what was going on. So that still didn't make sense why Dawn, it was a Hawk and Dove and Wonder Girl, especially since they were the ones that were there, would get so angry at Dick for, just saying, lying by omission. I mean, the bottom line is he was still killed at that time, but also they promised not to follow Jericho because they knew he was going to meet his father.
Yeah.
But prior to that happening, Deathstroke got into a fight with Donna. And Wonder Girl. And he kind of stabbed her up, and we'll get back into that. He stabbed her and hurt her really bad, and then Hawk, Dove, and Robin all show up, and it was like, and Robin told the other two, you two, you take care of her. I'll be back. What did they think Robin would do? This is Robin here. He has the habit of going after people, he hurt his friend, their fellow team member. Of course he's going to go after Deathstroke.
Yeah, so they're all in on it with the Jericho thing, whether they liked it or not. And then also, Donna was almost stabbed to death, so why the fuck is she mad?
It just didn't make sense, and when I originally saw that, before I rewatched this with Mark, I thought it was dumb then, and I still think it was dumb now.
And then the Raven story. No, Raven's role, that she also got mad.
And also, that was the other problem. Okay, so at this point, everyone that's there would be like, it was Gars, Rachel, Starfire had come back for a bit, then the other three, Hawk, Dove, Wonder Girl, and Connor at this point, he wasn't really involved here. Yeah. And Rachel, Raven. Now my problem with this is that everyone just got and Jason. Everyone got mad and left. It's like, because they mad at Dick. And Rachel got mad and said, I can't stay here. I said, that ungrateful brat, let her go. If she get killed, whatever. In a way. And Gar was the only one who knows what it means to be a Titan.
Yeah.
And he stayed. But like I said, the only one out of that entire group that should have had an issue with what happened with Jericho is Rose, because it's her brother. She knew that her father had killed her brother, and now she knows the reason is because of the Titans.
Yeah.
Because, if he wouldn't have gotten involved with them, her brother would still be alive, pretty much. So she's the only one that had a legitimate reason to be angry at Dick. Or pretty much all of them. With the exception of, the newer generation there. And Starfire, she wouldn't have been involved. And Jason was upset because of how the team was treating him. So, and I don't blame him for being mad and leaving. So he gets close with Rose, and they both leave together. And then later on, Rose comes clean to Jason about, you know, how she was working for her father. She was just there as a plant to take out the Titans. And he couldn't handle that, and he was just mad because of all the laughs, and he just left.
Yeah. So in the meantime, with all that stuff's going on, we have the subplot with Connor, and Connor has Cadmus after them, and we got Mercy Graves, who if you guys remember in the comics, well, more in the cartoon, I don't know about the comics because they might have changed things, but the original cartoon, she was Lex Luthor's bodyguard. Now she's like the head of this Cadmus division, and Lex Luthor is mentioned a couple of times. We don't see him, but he's mentioned, he's like, you know, the boss, you know, Hef is coming, and all that. And yeah, so basically, the Titans rescue Connor because it just so happened that Jason Todd was knocked off. Oh yeah, Deathstroke dropped Jason Todd off a building, and it just so happened that Connor was there to catch him, but he was shot by kryptonite bullets and whatever, and they had to like rescue him and all that. And once the Titans split up after what happened with what you just explained, everyone just said, well, fuck you, Dick, and just left. They left Beast Boy alone with Connor. And as they were, I guess, going through the city and stuff, you know, the people became aware of them and followed them and captured them. They wanted Connor back, Cadmus that is, but at the same time it's like, well, hey, this guy could turn into a tiger. We could use him too and everything. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to do this big auction thing. And basically it's like, you know, for the evil villains with lots of money, it's like, buy your own Connor, your own evil Superman clone or whatever. So they used Gar to stage an attack to actually kill people. He was like brainwashed. If he heard certain music, he would just go all out Pharaoh and attack anyone, you know. Mm-hmm. In fact, he even did like a test where he thought he was talking to Raven, and he actually, you know, attacked her and everything, which kind of means like, hey, he's willing to attack Raven, he's willing to attack anybody, you know, because they knew. So,
I find it interesting out of all the characters they actually used for that, they did use Rachel, because you know, we all know he has kind of a thing for her. So.
Yeah, I mean, they probably figured out they were poking around in his mind and all that. Yeah. But yeah, that was the whole thing. They wanted to show a show of Connor coming to stop Gar to, you know, show off his skills. But then the Titans show up, which, by the way, they're finally fighting crime, and they're finally wearing their fucking outfits, because they spent most of the series, even in missions, when they're going against Deathstroke and Dr. Light, they're just going in their fucking regular clothes. And don't be worried about their civilian, you know, things, or people see them in action. Because when they went to fight Dr. Light, that was out in the open somewhere, wasn't it? And they're just out there in the regular clothes.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the budget, really, the costumes were kind of crappy. The actors didn't want to wear them too much. Or
maybe they couldn't move. I don't know.
Yeah. And so anyways, the end of this, well, first of all, wasn't she called Lady Deathstroke in the comics? Whenever Rose wore that outfit? Well, I don't know, but anyways.
I know later on she becomes a Ravager. But.
Oh, well, maybe that's it. But anyways, Rose came to help out the team at the last minute, and now, at this point, after a lot of stuff that's going to take too long to cover, Robin is now officially Nightwing. They finally defeat Deathstroke because Deathstroke knew that, oh, they're getting back together yet again, and they'll stop them, you know. So he shows up to attack them, but they finally kill him. In my opinion, I would poke him with a stick to make sure he's dead. Because Rose can heal. She can fucking shoot her hand and the hole closes up. It's like, that's her dad. It's like, yeah, he got just one impalement and he's dead. It's like, no, you poke that fucker with a stick, you cut his head off.
Now, that makes me wonder, if you were to stab Rose in the heart, would it kill her?
It might.
Maybe that's.
I just noticed another thing because they cut out her eye and her eye never healed. So I guess it's just certain body parts.
Yeah, there's a reason why she doesn't have her eye, but it wasn't mentioned in the show as far as I know.
Well, in the show, he was gonna cut her eye out.
Oh, he did it, right?
Yeah, to be part of the plan to make her look more vulnerable, so they could be like, oh my god, we gotta help her, and you know, bring her in.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, it was done different in the comics. Okay.
Yeah. So, so we have the final battle. The Titans show up. And Wonder Girl holds Superboy down. We're going to get into that. And after everything is good and they help Superboy and Beast Boy, you know, fight off their programming and all the stuff and everything. Since they were fighting at this open carnival area with lots of people and everything.
Which was set up by Cadmus.
Yep. This big structure was collapsed and was going to fall on people, but also Dove. And Wonder Girl came to, you know, catch it and save her. But the thing had like electrical wires, live wires, because, you know, it snapped in half and everything. And somehow Wonder Girl, who's an Amazonian warrior, you know, that I guess is not as powerful as Wonder Woman, but should be around that league, you know, got electrified and that fucking killed her.
Yeah. when I originally saw that, and I was like talking with a friend, my cousin, and I was like, yeah, Wendy, wait till Mark sees that. He's going to be annoyed. I said, I bet you. Now, we were just talking about the show, and it was like, it just came back to us. Like, oh, yeah, that was something that annoyed me when I originally saw that. So, yeah.
That is bullshit. I mean, okay,
She could fight Connor, like, kind of evenly, and he wasn't in his right mind. She could take his hits and punches, all that stuff, but she can't take a little shock.
Yeah. And the thing is, okay, so originally, like we mentioned before, she got stabbed up like hell from Deathstroke, and these are just regular knives, and I'm sure they're, superior knives, blah, 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 but I mean, they're still like regular knives. They're not like, I guess, specialized for Amazons or whatever, because he wasn't expecting that kind of thing. So, like, I was thinking, okay, so maybe they just depowered her some so she wouldn't look so overpowered, because I think of all the original Titans with Robin and Hawk and Dove and stuff, she was the only one that actually had, like, superhuman anything. The rest were just regular people that fight good,
Mm-hmm.
So...
Oh, and Aqualad.
Yeah, and Aqualad. But I was thinking, like, well, okay, I guess they, whatever. But then here in this episode... In the same episode, she's able to take punches from Connor, who is not holding back because he's brainwashed. And we have seen throughout the episodes that he does have a lot of Superman's, super strength of grabbing things and smashing things and breaking and whatever. So he's a strong-ass motherfucker, you know what I mean? He hasn't been that depowered. And she can take those punches, and she can also punch them back with that, equal strength.
At one point, they punch each other at the same time.
Yeah, she's the only one that can actually punch Connor back.
Mm-hmm.
And yet she can't take a fucking electric thing. It's like I was telling Wendy, the worst I could have done is just like either knocked her out or just cleared her sinuses. You know what I mean? It should not have killed her. That's...
Yeah, it was just unnecessary. So yeah, that was just a weird imbalance there. The other stuff that went on in this season.
Most of it was that. All the infighting, all the stuff. Gar's just so positive because he was talking about the good that we do, the whatever. But what good do y'all do? You don't do nothing. Y'all bicker about each other. You never go out to actually fight crime or stop bad guys. You're just fighting with each other. And the Deathstroke thing is kind of like your own little personal war that the people at large are not really aware of. It's just, you guys. I mean, I guess the only crime find ever did was take down Light. But that's it.
Right, yeah.
But everything else...
I kind of forgot about that, and I just mentioned it.
Yeah, they're not fighting bad guys, they're not going out, they're not solving things.
And the thing is, with Dick, Jason, and Rachel, because he had them pretty much always training. He wasn't letting them go out to do anything, which was part of Jason's frustration of being, he's Robin, he want to go out and, he want to fight as Robin,
Yeah. And yeah, that's the only thing about the show too. I guess to make it more real, more drama. But the thing is, you can't have superhero characters like not do superheroing. You know what I mean? Have them do superhero stuff amongst the drama and things. Like have other villains. I don't know what other villains the Teen Titans have, but it's like oh no, Jeans broke out from prison. We'll discuss our personal matters later. Let's go stop her. Something.
They have. I mean, they haven't dealt with them as far as I know yet. So.
Yeah, and other minor villains, the Gotham villains that you guys are actually allowed to use, or the Superman villains that you guys are actually allowed to use. Metallo's out there. You got Kryptonite. Let's stop them. Amongst the bickering and arguing and the drama and all that stuff.
Another subplot that was going on was with Dick, because as Mark mentioned, Dick has his little, how his issues or whatever. So he knew that going after, having the Titans together would be a problem. So he wanted to just get himself away. So he purposely got himself arrested and thrown into prison by beating up some guards at an airport and all the other stuff. But it was really kind of a dumb thing, because everyone and their mother would know Dick Grayson, because Bruce Wayne is still a famous figure in canon in this world. They don't. Yeah. I mean, Dick Grayson, detective, and for a ward of Bruce Wayne, has been arrested for assault and battery and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just. How did people not see this?
Yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't even using the alias. Now, one of the cops was trying to, like, I guess, I don't know, do some kind of legal deal with him because he knew him as a detective. Yeah. So that's that, and also when he was saying that's just way too fast. Like he went from arrested to like flat out serving time in prison, like fast, no court date, no nothing. Just...
Yeah, he said he pled guilty. okay, but you still have an arraignment and all that other stuff. You know, it's like, but anyway, well, just ignoring that, and then he breaks out of prison. Yeah, we just ignore all the big old hole there, like the hole in the wall of that prison. But anyway. And also the other thing, Dick did go back to see Jericho's mother, and Deathstroke was there, but he wasn't doing anything. So he talked with her, and then he went to talk to Deathstroke, and Deathstroke was like, yeah, you try to put the family together, I take out your family. But there was something he noticed. He noticed that Deathstroke kept doing stuff with his hands, and it finally hit him. Mm-hmm. One of Jericho's powers is that he can like transfer his soul into somebody else. When Deathstroke stabbed him, when Jericho was trying to protect Dick from being killed, he jumped into his father, and all these years he's been stuck in his father's mind, and he can't get out. It's like sometimes he can get a little control of him, and that's probably why, as Mark was going to say, he didn't kill Robin at that time, because Jericho had control of his body.
Yeah, because I always thought that would make sense that, like, Deathstroke accidentally killed his son, and I'm assuming out of anger that he killed my son, whatever, it's all your fault, and Robin's like there, unable to move, like what, Deathstroke just walked away, or something, but now it makes sense. Jericho would have controlled him to make him go away and spare Robin.
Yep, and he's been stuck in that mindset, for all those years.
Yeah, and one thing
Robin figured it, Dick figured it out.
Yeah, one thing I was saying is a dark humor thing is, before Deathstroke died, because Rose impaled him, Jericho finally managed to get free and got into Rose, I guess, for a moment or something. I hope for a moment. That's kind of weird, taking over her body, whatever.
I think she's there. I think he's still in there.
Yeah. So I was joking whenever they were taking Donna Troy's body away, because she's dead now. Like, hey, we found a vessel for Jericho. Gonna take some getting used to, but hey, here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Because he can't take over Rose. Rose is still alive, you know what I mean? Like, he can't, like, override her personality or whatever. So, hey, we got a body here,
Yeah, this whole scene was just stupid. I mean, the setups were stupid. Now, like...
Oh, and then Raven left with her, too, because she thinks
at the funeral, Rachel was, like, saying she, I guess, truly believed that Donna can come back. And speaking at that funeral, I was like, where is Diana? Where is this show's equivalent of Diana? But anyway, Rachel decides to go with with Donna to where they're going to bury her, or the Amazon, or whatever.
Themyscira and all that.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I couldn't remember. So yeah, she left to go with them, and the rest of the Titans are there. And at the end of the season, they showed them off to fight a crime. Finally, after 2 whole doggone seasons, because everyone's not bickering with each other.
Yeah. And the thing is, and this season, just like how I said last time, we didn't catch it, but they said we were like, okay, let's watch and make sure there's something. The last one was about Connor. This one is now about Blackfire possessing some random mother to go after, I'm assuming go after Starfire and whoever happens to be helping her at the time. You know what I mean? So that'll be kind of cool to watch.
Alright, now here's so just a few nitpicks. So anyway, for the original story in the new Teen Titans comic, the run that was in the 80s before they changed everything with the new 52, Infinite, all that junk. Anyway, so the only character that should have been involved in this story should have been Nightwing, Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, no Aqualad, I don't think. Cyborg, Raven, Beast Boy, now known as Changeling because he was Beast Boy in Doom Patrol, Starfire, those main characters. Now, Deathstroke had 3 kids, okay? He had an older kid, 2 sons, and then Rose way later, and Rose isn't in the story at all either. So what happens is that Jericho can't talk, and you find out that it's because he's a mercenary. An enemy came after him, attacked Jericho, or whose real name is Joseph, by the way. Jericho is his Titan name. He gets sliced in the throat, and he can't speak. Now, his mother wanted to cut all ties with Slade because of that. And by the way, she runs Hive. If HIV, if you know that one, if you know, you know. So yeah, she runs Hive, and her oldest son was associated with Hive. And later on, Deathstroke only took out a hit on the Titans because he was paid to take a hit out on the Titans. He had no personal grudge against them at all. So he was pretty much taking them all out and all this other stuff. And Joseph and his mother, who hates, who really does hate Slade because her son got injured, her younger son got injured because of his people coming after him, looking for him. And, he got injured in the process, so she tried to have him killed, but, she couldn't do that, but that's why Slade only has the one eye, because she shot him in the eye. That's why he wears the eye patch. So anyway, they met up with Nightwing and they explained everything, or either Dick, but it doesn't matter, still Dick. But anyway, they explained to him what was going on with Slade, and that's when Joseph joined the Titans and became Jericho. And the infiltration of the team, that was originally a role given to Tara, who is not in this series for whatever reason. They used Rose, who was not even a thought. It should not have been a thought at this time in the comics or whatever. So Jericho and them, they did all their stuff. They fought against Deathstroke. Deathstroke gets arrested, apprehended, all that other stuff. He does not get killed. He does not die. But Jericho does get killed by Deathstroke in a later story. What happened was that out of all the Titans, Jericho was closest to Raven because he could, get into her mind, understand her backstory with Trigon and all that other stuff. Now, he gets possessed by the seeds of Azarath or the devils or the Trigon, whatever it was, and he gets kind of possessed in a way, and he's kind of like trapped within his own mind. So it gets to the point where he is pretty much having the Titans taken out and all this other stuff. He even, at one point when they do have this fight against him, he's like just using his soul, jumping from body to body and all this other stuff. And Deathstroke was actually helping the Titans at this point. Now, he got control of his body for a moment, and Jericho came through and he actually begged his father to kill him. And that's when Deathstroke had to sadly kill his son, because he said he knew that things would never be right if he isn't killed. So that's how Deathstroke killed Jericho in the comics. It wasn't because, some vendetta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess in the series they wanted to do kind of like a, kind of like on one end we got Dick and the Titans, they're kind of sort of a family and they're starting to struggle whatever to get together and stuff. While Deathstroke is also kind of sort of struggling to get his family together, and I guess they kind of went for a family clash mixed with a sort of adaptation of the Judas contract, while also throwing in Connor and whatever else.
And throwing in Connor, Rose, and all of them. And the other thing with Rose is that Rose is the two older brothers' half sister. They don't have the same mother. Her mother Slade met in like a brothel or something in Cambodia, so that's why she looks half Asian. So yeah, but she did find out who her father was. She wanted to like work with her father and all this other stuff, and I can't remember the whole story. And the reason her eye's a mess, she cut out her own eye because she wanted to be like him to try to get his attention.
Oh God.
Yeah, she gouged out her own eye. So.
Yeah. Here in this series, they part of the plan was that he had to cut out her own eye or whatever. But yeah. So anyways, the series does get. I mean, part of it you kind of sort of want to see where it goes, but the other part is that you kind of get tired of it because it's just so damn dark and depressing.
It's the infighting. It's all the fight. It's the infighting.
I feel the characters are always doing the dumbest decisions possible so they could keep the infighting going. And then or they find some way to make it all about Dick, even though they all have a part in it, but they gotta do something so everyone hates Dick now. And Dick goes off, and Dick gets arrested on purpose, and he keeps doing things alone, he keeps doing half-truths, or abandoning the team, and they're trying to contact him, I'll see you later, I gotta do this alone, and all that kind of crap, and it's just, just keeps going. And one thing I did also tell Wendy was with Gar, in his case, he is the only positive, upbeat person that doesn't really have, dark issues. So it's like, okay, so if he's the upbeat guy, let's have dark shit happen to him in that case. So he gets kidnapped, and they do, brain stuff on him, they make him evil, or, possessed, or, I don't know, they make him triggered, so whenever he hears whenever he hears a particular classical song or something, he just turns feral and will attack any innocent person like a savage beast. And eat them
like you
and
were
all
saying
that.
earlier.
Yeah, so it's like he's not a dark character, but let's let all the dark and torture shit happen to him. You know.
Here's the thing: now, if they would have done the terror storyline, then they would have been able to get that dark Gar moment because he was in love with Tara. They acted like a couple. He thought she loved him, but she, then find out that she, was just using them all the whole time, just for Deathstroke to get to all of them. That was upsetting to him to the point where he really, really hated Deathstroke to the point he didn't want the cops to get him. He wanted to get at him.
Oh wow.
That's how bad off he was with that until he found out. And then after Tara got killed, he was even more angry and had a lot of anger and stuff and was trying to go after Deathstroke. Until, because he said maybe it was his fault that she was tricked and all this other stuff. But, until he finds out the truth, no, Tara was doing this under her own volition. It was, she willingly was going along with Deathstroke on this, and she did have a relationship with him.
Yeah, and she was just flat out evil, without not redeemable or anything.
Yeah.
And also we apologize for Ashley music. Ashley Man does come around every once in a while. And actually this is the second time he came today, so I'm kind of surprised that he did, I guess he's double dipping.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that's about all we can really say about the season. Like I said, there's just so many unnecessary things in this season. I mean, in the series as a whole. Just unnecessary stuff. So I don't know if they kind of fix that a little bit in season 3, because as mentioned, I only saw like maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes of season 3 originally. I haven't seen beyond a few things that I won't spoil here, which is not a spoiler anymore because it's been so long. But but I hope that they kind of fix it so they actually act like, I don't know, an actual team and do what they're supposed to do instead of all this unnecessary bickering and fighting. And like you said, Donna had no reason to get mad at Dick for the Jericho thing. Don didn't have an excuse. Hank had no... Okay, Hank kind of... He didn't want to deal with it anyway. But to be fair, I mean...
And they were all in it together because they were avenging that Deathstroke killed Aqualad. They all had parts in it.
They had a part in it, and they all did change their minds about Jericho because they trusted him and they came clean with him. But at the same time, why are they mad at Dick? Because he went after the guy that hurt their friend. It's just...
Yeah, it's dumb. But we'll see what happens next with the season 3 because, we'll be watching it.
Eventually.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is Mark Rodriguez here.
And this is Ninja Jupi, Jupi Chan, or Wendy. See you guys later. Sorry. Sorry, Mark Senpai.
Yes, and like I said, this is the review Sanctum where we review anything, unfortunately, and everything, unfortunately, and yeah.
Need a hug?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
So anyways, guys, see you next time. Of course, it takes a while to watch an entire season, and it's also kind of sort of when we feel like it, because, oh god, it's such a downer sometimes. But, yeah, catch you later.
Bye.